Hey everyone, welcome back to Cinewhirl. Today, I'm taking you through the wild, fantastical, and sometimes downright bizarre tale of tales, a 2015 film that spins three unforgettable stories. Get ready for a journey filled with magic, heartbreak, and some jaw-dropping moments. I'm keeping it fun and conversational, but every detail's locked in as promised. Here we go! First narrative, the Queen's desperate wish. We kick things off in the kingdom of Long Trellis, where the king and queen seem to have a picture-perfect life. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find a painful secret. The queen's battling a rare condition that means she can never become a mother. It's eating her up inside, and despite the king summoning every top doctor and physician in the realm, no one can crack the mystery of her illness. He tries everything to cheer her up, even inviting circus performers to the palace for some entertainment. But when the queen spots one of the performers who's pregnant, envy takes over. She storms to her chamber and starts smashing things in a rage. The king's heartbroken seeing her like this and vows to go to any length to fix it. That same night, a shady necromancer rolls up to the castle, claiming he's got the answer to the queen's problem. The king's not buying it at first. Tons of people have tried and failed, but the necromancer's confident. He says it's possible, but it depends on how far the king's willing to go. To the last extent, the king replies, ready to do whatever it takes. This guy's full of weird vibes, talking about nature needing balance, a life for a life. He lays out a crazy plan. The king has to hunt a sea monster, rip out its heart, get a pure, unmarried woman to cook it, and have the queen eat it. Then, she'll get pregnant. It's nuts, but the king's all in. The next day, he heads out to find this beast. He tracks it down in a river, catching it off guard while it sleeps. The fight's intense. He slays the monster and grabs its heart, but he's badly hurt. Before he dies, he wraps the heart in cloth and sends it back to the castle. Back at the palace, they find a maid who's unmarried and pure, and she's put in charge of cooking the heart. While she's at it, something bizarre happens. She starts feeling strange and bam, she's pregnant. The queen eats the heart as planned, and sure enough, she's pregnant too. Soon, both women give birth at the same time to two boys who look like twins. The queen names her son Elias, and the maid's son is Jonah. Oh, and here's a cool detail. Both boys have white hair, a nod to that sea monster. Fast forward 16 years, and Elias and Jonah are young men with a super tight bond like brothers. The queen, though, can't stand it. She thinks Jonah's too low class for her prince, Elias, and bans them from hanging out. Elias doesn't care. He keeps sneaking off to meet Jonah. We also find out these guys aren't your average teens. They can breathe underwater, which is equal parts awesome and creepy. Things get tense when the queen threatens the maid, saying she'll boot her and Jonah out of the kingdom if they don't stop the friendship. But the boys keep at it. One day, Jonah pulls a stunt. He puts on Elias's clothes and tricks the queen into thinking he's her son. When she figures it out, she's livid and exiles Jonah. Elias tries to stop him, but Jonah leaves, carving a mark into a tree that starts gushing water. He tells Elias, "If the water's clear, I'm good. If it turns red, I'm in danger." Then he's gone. Elias keeps an eye on that water, and one day it turns red. Freaked out, he ditches the kingdom without telling his mom to find Jonah. After a long search, he tracks him to a village where Jonah's married a young woman. The locals think Elias is Jonah because they look identical. He learns Jonah went into the forest 5 days ago and hasn't come back. Elias sets off to find him. While back at the castle, the queen's spiraling. She begs the necromancer for help, and he says she can get Elias back, but only if she sacrifices another life. She agrees on the spot. Meanwhile, Jonah's hurt in a cave, and a freaky flying creature attacks him. Elias hears his screams, rushes in, and takes down the beast with his sword. Here's the twist that hits like a truck. That creature was the queen, transformed to fulfill the necromancer's deal. Life for life. Elias has no clue he's just killed his own mom. The story ends with him returning to Long Trellis and taking the throne. A heavy but fitting close. Second narrative, the king's foolish heart. Now we meet a totally different king, one who's all about women, booze, and living large. He's got the cash and clout to marry anyone, but he's still hunting for his queen. Nearby live two elderly sisters, Dora and Ima, who keep to themselves. Dora's sly and selfish, while Ima's sweet and honest. They're unmarried, probably destined to grow old alone, but their voices? They sound young and gorgeous. One morning, the king hears Dora singing and is instantly hooked. He's sure she's a stunning young woman and heads to their door to meet her. The sisters freak out. If he sees their old faces, he'll lose it. They buy time, asking him to come back in a week. They spend that time trying to look younger. Dora slathers her fingers with herbs, but they still look ancient. Ima, though, sucks on her finger for days, and it ends up looking smooth and youthful. When the king shows up again, Dora shows him Ima's finger, pretending it's hers. The king's head over heels, thinking he's found the one. The sisters are terrified. If he learns the truth, they're toast. Dora comes up with a plan. She'll sleep with the king, but only in complete darkness so he can't see her. He's game. And Ima helps glue Dora's skin tight to make her feel younger. At midnight, a guard picks Dora up, and in the dark palace, the king spends the night with her. Come morning, he sees Dora's real face and flips out. He orders his guards to toss her out a window. Somehow she survives, landing in a jungle. There a witch finds her and uses magic to turn her into a beautiful young woman with long hair. The next day, the king's hunting in the jungle and spots her. He's smitten, again, and brings her back to make her his queen. Dora's over the moon but remembers Ima. She invites her to the wedding, and Ima's stunned to see Dora looking so young. When she asks how it happened, Dora jokingly says she peeled off her old skin. Ima buys it and goes to an ironsmith, offering a necklace to have her skin removed. This guy's not the sharpest. He ties her to a tree in the jungle and literally peels her skin off. Ima stumbles back to the castle in pain and dies soon after. Dora's magic starts fading too. Her skin wrinkles and she realizes she's aging again. Panicked, she bolts from the castle. The story ends on a sad note, with Dora back to her old self alone once more. Third narrative, the king and his neglected daughter. Our last story centers on a quirky king who lost his queen long ago. He's got a daughter, Violet, but he's never really loved her. One day, he finds a parasite insect sucking blood from his hand. Instead of swatting it, he's weirdly fascinated and keeps it as a pet, feeding it his blood in a glass box. Over time, this thing grows massive. Meanwhile, Violet's grown into a beautiful young woman who dreams of a prince, but her dad's too obsessed with his pet to notice her. When the parasite gets sick and dies, the king's crushed. But it gives him an idea. He peels off its skin and decides it's time to find Violet a husband. He sets up a competition. Whoever can name the creature the skin came from gets to marry her. Violet's thrilled but also bummed. She wanted to pick her own guy. Still, she agrees. Word spreads and people flood the palace to guess. Nobody gets it right. This insect was freakishly huge, so it's a mystery. Then a creepy ogre shows up, wanting in on the contest. The king lets him try, and somehow the ogre sniffs the skin and gets it right. Violet's devastated and runs to the roof, ready to jump. But her dad talks her down, saying he can't go back on his word. With no choice, she agrees to marry the ogre. The ogre takes her to his mountain lair, where she cries for days. One day, she sees a woman on a nearby peak and begs for help, spilling her story. The woman promises to return with her family to save her. They show up the next day, but as they're crossing a rope bridge, the ogre comes back. They cut the rope and he falls. But he's not out. He hunts down the family and takes them out one by one. He chases Violet into a cave and starts hugging her, thinking she'll come around. Violet fakes affection, then stabs him dead when he's distracted. In the final scene, Violet returns to the palace with the ogre's severed head. She drops it in front of her father and says, "This is the husband you chose," before breaking down. The king falls to his knees, wrecked. Violet takes the throne as queen, and the movie wraps up on this intense note. That's Tale of Tales for you. What a wild ride. 3 stories packed with love, loss, and some seriously strange twists. If you loved this recap, smash that like button, subscribe to Cinewhirl for more, and drop a comment with your favorite movie. We might cover it next. Until then, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.